You're probably wondering exactly where you're going to fit in here at Primient. We are currently hiring for various engineering positions in Lafayette, Decatur, and even Loudon, Tennessee. Our chemical engineers, electrical engineers, as well as our mechanical engineers. We always have a rec open. If anybody were to have an interest, they can drop their resume into that job requisition as well. All of our engineer roles do require a 4-year college degree. Disciplines we often target include chemical, ag bio, biological, electrical, environmental, and even mechanical. Working in our process units can be challenging, but we do strive to produce a schedule of flexibility where possible to provide a real work-life balance. And you'll be working alongside a really wonderful team, talented, driven, and supportive colleagues who are really passionate about what they do, and that is including Tyler and Micah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler Dunn, and I've been with Primient for 3 years now.
Wonderful. Nice to meet you, Tyler. Thank you for being here.
And I'm Micah Hollenbeck, and I've been with Primient for 3.5 years now at the Loudon site.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for being here. We'll get to some questions shortly. Just a little bit about our Primient Engineering, guys, so you can have a little bit more depth to what we do here at Primient and for our employees. Primient really strives to offer an enriching experience so that employees can build a career with us. Major ways that we do that in the engineering area are by fostering a really robust career development path for our engineers, with the opportunity to remain not only on the technical side within the engineering function, but branch off to different operations and leaderships, or try to cross-functional opportunities to grow your new skills. We review our engineers biannually to ensure them that our engineering architecture and providing fresh growth opportunities for everyone. The next thing we do at Primient, we house an engineering council that is comprised of our engineers from all over our plants. These representatives ensure that the voice of all of our engineers are heard, giving the ability to shape the future and really engineering within the organization as a whole. Primient offers prioritization, strong total rewards package as well. This includes competitive pay, multiple healthcare plan choice, including medical, dental, vision, and eligibility of those starting day one. We do offer PTO, including enhanced flexibility around parental leave and new parents, and so much more. Tyler and Micah are going to share a little bit more about what it's like to work on the engineering team here at Primient. So thank you guys for being here. Let's get you some questions going here. All right. Okay, guys, I do have a few questions for you. Let's see. Mike and Tyler, thank you for introducing yourself and being with us today. I'm going to just ask you, Micah, let's start with you. If you could tell us or walk us through a day in the life of an engineer at Primient.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alex. The facilities that we have, like she mentioned, we have 6 manufacturing facilities. And so it's going to look a little bit different depending on the facility that you're at. But overall, we really have 2 main parts of our job, and that is process support and optimization. And then the second part would be projects and capital investment into the company. My day looks like starting in the morning and reviewing the data for the different unit operations that I've been assigned to. And that would be looking at our data historian, lab samples, and our logbook, and then taking any findings that I have to our morning meeting and bringing that up to the larger group and proposing ideas of how to address problems or drive further efficiency in our process. And then from there, if I get assigned any tasks towards addressing those issues, that's what I'm going after first thing. And then once I'm finished addressing those problems, that's where I really start going into more of the project side and driving optimization through capital investment or just finding ways to improve the process that's not a process critical change. And then on top of that, I'll have a lot of time to work with scheduling startups and installations for those projects, and then also working to help train the technicians on new equipment or changes that I've been making to the process. So, overall, in summary, it's a lot of different hats that engineers at Primient get to wear. And I really find that an exciting opportunity because you get to grow as you
Mhm.
experience these different capacities of teaching people, of having to troubleshoot and learn and solve problems, but then also proposing new ideas and being able to see those ideas out in real in the processes that we work in.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're getting so many different opportunities of process, project, a little bit of everything. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Tyler, can we throw it over to you? And if you could please describe the environment that new engineers should expect when they come to Primient.
Of course. Thanks again for having me, Alex. So as a new engineer coming onto Primient, one of the first things that you'll recognize is the safety focus that the company has on all facets, whether that's a new project that's coming in, the focus that gets put into that project there, or when it comes to some of the existing equipment, but also just the thought and forethought placed for all the other operators, all the other people working at the plant, whether it's just a hot day at work, a busy day at work, what have you, all those different forethoughts and items going into that. Another area that you'll see with Primient as a new engineer is integrity, doing what's right the first time and making sure that you're looking out for one another. It ties back into safety, but whether you see something that's wrong, making sure you call that out, and the company will back you and have you there for that. And then also growth. One of the things that was mentioned was, or you can see in one of the previous slides, is some of the different business opportunities that the company is growing in. Ever since I joined on, I think that's one of the things that I saw from the start was the growth mindset that the company has, and the continued growth that it looks forward towards in the future. So those are some of the things that I've seen recently, but definitely as a new engineer, some of the things that you'll come to light as you continue to work with Primient.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, those core values are really driven in all parts and processes. Like you said, you got to have integrity to be safe. You want to do that all within growth. You have that type of mindset. So, all right. Thank you, Tyler. I'm going to go ahead and pass back to Micah. Micah, can you please describe some traits of a successful engineer here at Primient for us?
Absolutely. So I've kind of got three that I've highlighted, although there are several others that would be helpful as well. So the first one is being able to be somebody who prioritizes teamwork and really works well with others. This is a really collaborative environment. So I've been exposed to other places where it's really competitive and people will steal your ideas. That is not what is happening here. We're sharing ideas. We're working with each other and really helping support one another through that. And that is a essential mentality to have coming into this type of role. The second one is that you need to be technically curious, that you're able to look around the world and ask questions of how does this work? Why does it work that way? Could we make it better? And if you're not asking those types of questions, it's going to be really difficult to be able to contribute towards making the processes better on a day to day basis. And then the third one would be that you need to be comfortable with working with a little bit of ambiguity. A lot of times, the problem statement is not very well defined. That, hey, we've had something broken, go figure out what's wrong and tell us how to fix it. And that can sometimes be uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, that's part of our role is not necessarily knowing the answer before we really jump in and start using those problem solving skills. And so being able to be comfortable when the questions are there and you don't know the answer, but you're able to work towards finding it, is really key. So, again, teamwork, being technically curious, and then being able to work with a little bit of ambiguity before you've found the right answer.
That's perfect. Yeah, I'm appreciative that you had all of those things really written out too, because sometimes, we can say, oh, we want this, but to give a definition to it to really knock it home. So thank you, Micah, very much. Tyler, I'm gonna come back to you. Can you tell us what you enjoy about working at Primient? What's your favorite things?
I think Micah touched on it perfectly there as a key value as a new engineer, but that's also what I enjoy most about working at Primient is the collaborative effort that the company has. I know it can seem a little daunting coming into a new company, especially the scale of some of the facilities that Primient has. But ever since I've started working here, I've always been able and wanting to go ask for help whenever I need it, or if I just want to ask questions about a certain unit op that I'm maybe curious learning more about. Those people have always been there, whether it's from the top down. Everyone's willing to lend you a hand and be willing to help you in those areas. So that's one thing that I really enjoy. Another thing that I really enjoy working at Primient is just the wide breadth of unit ops that there are. Again, Micah touched on this, the technical curiosity. There's plenty that we have available to satisfy that. So if there's one unit op that maybe you're not too fond of, we've certainly got others that are across the plant that can help you out and help you grow and learn and develop as an engineer there. And then one of the final things I really enjoy about working at Primient is just the people. Touched on the collaborative effort, but just in general, the people here are fantastic. Outside of work, they've become some of my closest friends working here with the company. So not only is it a great place to work for yourself and growing as a engineer, but also just as a people person and in general, just your social life. It's one of the best things about the place.
Thank you so much, Tyler. I appreciate that. It is really encouraging to know that you can come to a place yourself, that you can be collaborative, continuously ask questions so that you can improve your own mindset. And that I think that both hit on what you, Tyler, said and Micah, just being able to focus on the things that you're really enjoying, dabbling in some other different things as well. So, all right, I just have one more question. And last but not least, Micah, can you tell us what sets Primient apart from the rest?
Absolutely. So there's definitely a lot of things on that as well, but a couple things to touch on. So first, it's Primient is really heavily investing in their manufacturing facilities right now, and that's not the case for all companies out there. And so, as engineers, we get to be the ones who steward that investment and really help make that into real changes for our process. And so, you really do get to be at the cutting edge of corn wet milling and this process that we have of changing corn into so many different products for people around the world. The second one, and Tyler did touch on this already, but Primient really does take safety seriously. There's pretty much every company out there will say safety is our number one priority. But then when you actually get to it, the moment it really comes to threatening production and being able to hit the numbers, then they'll start saying, hey, we need to cut corners and make production. And that's just not what happens at Primient. We really, really take safety seriously and are willing to make sure, okay, even if we're not going to hit loss, but we did it safely, that's the right choice to make, is to do safe things first. And then finally, too, just the opportunity to grow and change. There's a lot of companies out there that will put you into a very specific niche, and you kind of just get stuck there and don't really have an opportunity to touch things outside of the little box that you're given. And when you're at Primient, you get to do a lot of different things. Sometimes you're given assignments that aren't exactly what you would want to do, but there's always opportunity to get your hands onto something that you weren't expecting and to really be able to learn from those new experiences.
Thank you, Micah. That growth sounds amazing. And for me, it continues to grow at multiple sites and locations. So really looking forward to what you guys and any new hires can come on and enjoy those as well. Just being able to grab on and test and try all those things. So thank you both, Tyler and Micah. I really appreciate it. This is where we pause to see if there are any questions out there. Also, I'd like to give a moment just if Tyler or Micah, if you have anything else that didn't necessarily fit in the question box that you wanted to say to any of our people out there watching about Primient, then I'll give you an opportunity to say that as well.
I don't think I have anything else, Alex. Thank you again.
Of course, yes. let me go ahead and I'll move us right along here. I'm really appreciative of you guys taking the time out of your day. It's very exciting to be able to talk so passionately about Primient.